Hello everyone, my name's Katie Ewers and I'm a careers advisor. What I'm doing today is another video in my self-discovery series. Today I'm introducing to you the Gallup Strengths Finder. Now, the Gallup Strengths Finder is an American company that mostly focus on using their 34 strengths that they devised to help managers build effective teams, and to help their employee satisfaction. But what I'm using the Gallup Strength Finder for is a tool to help you guys look at the different elements that might be involved in jobs. There are 34 of them as per Clifton, I think it's Clifton Strengths Finder. And there's going to be some of them that I read out to you that are going to really resonate with you. And you're going to think, yeah, that's me. You need to note that down somewhere in a Word document or on a bit of paper, whatever. So anyone that I read to you, basically, that gives you an emotional response in some way. If it's a strong emotional response, put a star next to it, especially if it's a good, strong emotional response. But also keep in mind, if I read any and you think, oh my God, no way, I hate that, and you have an emotional response the other way, take note of that as well, but note it as that was negative. Put an N next to it or something. Because what you really want in a job is just, and what you really dislike in a job, they're both important. You don't want to take a job where, all the other jobs are fine, but there's one massive element of the job that is really bad for you. That could be a deal breaker, So it's good to know what is good, what really creates that emotional positive response in you, and you think, yeah, that's what I want in my job. Or on the opposite side, no, I definitely do not want that in my job. That's a good bit of learning about you as well. Then you know that jobs that contain those elements aren't going to be for you. Okay, so this is all to help you think about the kind of tasks, the kind of desires and wants that you have from a job. And the Gallup Strengths Finder breaks talents down differently to what I've seen before. And you'll see when you see the next one. Now, it's the Gallup Clifton Strengths Finder, and as I said, they're mostly involved in business and leadership, but they split their strengths into 4 groups. So it's the executors or the doers, the people that want to get things done, the influencers, which is what it says on the tin, people that want to influence, whether they help or lead or get them to think differently, the influencers, relationship builders, the ones that are more wanting to look after people, and strategic thinkers. Now, when you choose which ones you like, you're going to have a mixture of these. It's not as if all your likes are all going to be in one group. But you might find that you choose, say, 5, maybe even 10, but your top 5 maybe are mostly in relationship builder. Or maybe start with the top 10, actually. That's how I started. I started with the top 10. And I found that a lot of mine were on relationship builder, 1 or 2 on some of the others. And it makes you think, okay, so I sort of tilt more towards this group. But you might be a balance of all 4, which is good as well, means flexible. Remember, this is all about learning about you and which direction that you might tilt in. So executor, influencer, relationship builder, strategic thinker. You might be spread over these groups, or you might favour one over the other or 2 over the others. But, it's all about self-knowledge. It's all about realising the sort of thing you're after in a job. Okay, so the doers and the executors. So first of all, we got achiever. Now, the achiever, they must achieve something every day. Even when they're on holiday or at the weekend, they'll set themselves a list of what they want to get done that day, and they want to tick these things off. And they only feel that a sense of achievement when they've achieved something. Sometimes it doesn't matter what it is you've achieved, as long as your life on earth today, you've achieved something, you've made something happen. Okay, so it's almost like the achiever feels they've wasted a day if they haven't achieved something. So you need to achieve something tangible to feel good about yourself. You work every day, work days, weekends, vacations. I mean, it would drive your family mad. But if this is resonating with you and you're the sort of person that likes to tick things off every day, keep listening to this. You've got this internal fire burning inside you, pushing you to do more. You're a self-starter. You don't need anyone to tell you to get going. New challenges, new opportunities, it's all exciting to you. You're prepared to work long hours and do more and achieve more to get things done, to get things achieved. You're driven, of course. Of course you'll be driven. You're an achiever. Constant need for attainment. It's like each day starts at zero, and if you don't achieve something that day, oh my goodness, even if it's a Sunday, even if you're on holiday, when a goal is reached, that's not enough really. You move on to the next goal. You've always set yourself a goal and you're always moving forward. Your energy is the jolt that can always count upon to get you started. So your achiever energy, it'll always be the energy that stops you being lazy. You can never let yourself relax. You set the pace, you define the levels of productivity. You set the pace and define the levels of productivity. Now, if this resonates with you really strongly, write this one down. Or if this one really makes you think, oh, no chance, again, write this one down. If you have no real response to it, then it's not a big thing to you and you don't really need to take note of it. Okay, next one. So the arranger. So you can take variables. You can take a mess of details, confusion, bits, like a massive great puzzle. And your talent is you can find a way to get them all into a good configuration. You'll find a way to make it all fit. You'll pull all the detail and the pieces together and make it all fit together in a big puzzle. So you jump into the confusion. You devise new options, hunt for new paths. There might just be a better way. You take those details and you can make new plans. Things could go wrong. You just take all the details back and rearrange it and make a new plan. You're adaptable like that. You manage all the details, you can align them, but then you can realign them if you don't feel it's quite right until you're sure you've arranged them in the most productive configuration. You arrange the pieces, the things that you arrange, the pieces that you arrange are going to be things like people, resources, and time, all for maximum productivity. Find the best way of getting things done, find the best processes, the best procedures. So you might be the sort of person that would like to write the processes and procedures and policies of a company. Or you might want to be someone that arranges all the details and makes all the arrangements, like a PA or an event planner. Think about all the jobs that this skill could be good for. I mean, you might be interested in weddings. If you're an arranger, you would be an amazing wedding planner. Okay, so think about how these skills match. You can arrange and manage details and variables that would make other people find like really, oh my God. You're dynamic. You can adapt to different circumstances. So if the whole plan changes, you're chill. You can just change things about, move that person to here, move that to there. It's fine. I'll find a different way. That's one of your big skills if you are interested in arranger. You can keep many things in your head at once, which should have to be to manage all those details. You can shelve plans in favour of a new plan if things go wrong or things change. You're a shining example of effective flexibility. You're always looking for the perfect configuration. Again, if this resonates with you, write it down, because there are many different ways that this kind of passion or ability can be used in the working place. And again, the other way, if you feel a strong anti against this, write it down, okay, because that's important too. Next one, belief. So your belief makes you easy to trust because your life is based totally around your values and your ethics. Okay, you find work that meshes with your values. So if this one resonates with you, you're going to want to look for a job that fits with your values and ethics. Okay, you wouldn't want to work in an abattoir if you're a vegetarian, that kind of mindset. Your work must be meaningful to you. It must matter, and guided by your belief theme, it will matter only if it gives you the chance to live out your values. So you have a base values, base beliefs that matter to you, and that is You need a job that filters those values and those beliefs. Your core values give your life the meaning that you need, guides your actions, and it guides your priorities, and it will guide the job that you want to go for. It will guide the partner that you take. It will guide the friends that you choose. To you, money isn't the most important thing. Your values define the purpose in your life, and your life and your work must align to your core values and ethics. You're family orientated, altruistic, spiritual with high ethics, as you'd have to be. Your core values are enduring and you've always got your eye on them. Those core values affect your behaviour in many ways, giving you satisfaction, because the satisfaction of being true to your values and ethics is more important to you than money and prestige. If this is resonating with you, you've got to write this down. Your values provide you with your direction, guiding you towards a consistent set of priorities, and it's all linked. Okay. Your friends think you're dependable. Well, they know you are because they know where they stand with you. They know where your values and ethics are, so they can feel secure around you. So if this feeling of having a job that matches your values and your ethics and your meaning really resonates with you, write this one down because this matters. Okay. And again, the other way, if you think, no, I couldn't care less, or, if you don't care, don't note it down. But if you have a strong negative no way, write it down. Okay. And it's the same with all of consistency. So if you love consistency, you believe that all people should be treated the same. You hate people having an unfair advantage. You like balance, but you prefer predictability. You like the rules to be in place. So you want a job where rules and procedures prevail, and that the rules and policies are applied equally to all. That's very important to you. You crave stable routines, clear rules, procedures that everyone follows equally. You won't like it if there's one rule for one and one rule for another. You don't want to see the scales tipped too far in anyone's favour. In your view, this leads to selfishness and individualism. You think everyone should have a fair crack at the whip. It leads to a world where some people gain an unfair advantage because of their connections or background. Well, that is true. And you find this more than, say, another person really offensive. If you find this offensive, you need to write consistency down. You believe that people function at their best in a consistent environment where the rules are clear and applied to everyone equally. Okay, that's important to you. You know what is expected. You like to know what is expected, so it can be predictable, even-handed and fair. Each person has an even chance to show their worth, so you're not the kind of person that likes to let background give you a leg up in life. So you wouldn't be all that happy about things like inheritance tax and things like that. And you'd be very in favour of helping people from disadvantaged backgrounds to make it in the world or to get the same rights. So maybe human rights lawyer, think about how these things can link. And if this is a strong one for you, write it down, because we can link this to a job that fulfills you. And again, don't forget, if you feel a negative and you think, people should gain an advantage if they work harder, and you feel strongly about that, write consistency down on the negative list, okay? This is also important. Deliberative. So if you're into the deliberative, you believe, you think that life is something of a minefield. You're good at identifying dangers, weighing their relative impact and risk, and then placing your feet deliberately. That means making sure that you've planned ahead for the risk. So a job where you do risk assessments, or you assess health and safety risk. If you're really interested in deliberative, and this first line is resonating with you, this can link to jobs, so keep listening. You like to analyse risk assessor, weigh up the dangers, the important impact, reduce the impact by taking care, by planning meticulously, risk assessments and that kind of thing. Careful not to give too much praise. This can be misconstrued. Life is not a popularity contest, so you're not down with people really. If you're deliberative, it's more about analysing the risk and making sure people are safe. But what you're not all that good at or interested in is getting on with others. Okay, so you're the person that sets the rules on health and safety and policies and risk assessments. You know, if you're interested in deliberative, this is going to be an amazing job for you. You take serious care in making your decisions or choices. You anticipate them obstacles because you're always looking for a possibility where something might go wrong, which is good for someone who is a risk assessor. You're careful, vigilant, and a private person. Remember, you're not interested really in getting on with others. You know that the world is an unpredictable, quite a scary place at times. So that you have to identify every risk. So you identify that risk, assess it, and then try to reduce it. A serious person, definitely. If you're assessing risk, you're a serious person that approaches life with a certain reserve, always looking for something that might go wrong and how you can not let that thing go wrong. You like to anticipate what might go wrong, so you can be quite pessimistic. But remember, if this is resonating with you, there are jobs that link to this, okay? You select your friends cautiously and keep your own counsel, because remember, you're always assessing risk. Serious, reserved, vigilant, and private. So as I've said, there are jobs that linked to the deliberative risk assessing kind of passion. So if this really resonates with you, write deliberative down on your positive list, and the same if you have a strong negative effect with it and you think it's all ridiculous and you get angry. But if you don't care, don't worry. Okay, don't write it down anywhere. It's clearly not something that really resonates with you at all, either way. Discipline. So you instinctively, so again, I haven't been mentioning, these are all part of the executing theme, the doers, haven't reminded you. So you instinctively impose structure with discipline, set up routines and deadlines. This is when you must do this and this is when you should do that. That's what makes achieve discipline. You enjoy routine and structure. You need predictability. So remember, you're looking at jobs that are routine, structured and predictable, where you can set up routines, where you can break down projects into a series of short-term plans, because you don't like it being too big. You like to be planned and structured, one step at a time. Feel like you're in control, dislike surprises. Remember, you like to plan. You like to know what's going to happen. You like routine. You like to know what's going to happen. So surprises are going to throw you right up in the air. Not everyone feels your urge for predictability, though. Okay, and you do need to figure that one out. Your impatience with errors, most definitely. Routines, this tight detail, routine orientation, can be interpreted as a bit controlling, so you need to take care of that. But at the end of the day, if you resonate with structure, routines, deadlines, predictability, working through plans diligently, and this really resonates with you, then write down discipline. There are loads of jobs that will satisfy this need within you. Okay, so write it down. Or if you hate it, detest it, write it down. And if you don't care, just ignore it. Okay, focus. You're always looking to where you're headed. You're always looking ahead. You ask yourself all the time, where am I heading? This is still on the executor theme. You need a clear destination. You're impatient with delays. Come on, let's get going. Let's get started. I've got a goal to reach. You set goals and you filter your actions through your goals and priorities. You instinctively evaluate whether an action will achieve your goal. So I'm not going to do that unless it takes me closer to my goal, basically. So all your actions are led by the goal. Like for belief, it's about their values. For you, it's about the goal. So central to you is the goal, and all your actions sprout off that goal. And anything that doesn't attach to that goal, you're not interested. Okay. You focus on your prioritize on your priorities, and this makes you efficient. You can take a direction, follow through, make corrections, because you're good at focusing. You need goals. Lacking goals, your life, your work can quickly become frustrating. So you need a job where you're given targets and goals to reach. Okay, so that's important for you. If it's not in your goals, if it's not important, if it's not going to lead to the fruition of your goals, then it's not worth your time. Okay, so you're very focused on your goals. So if you take a job then where your employer gives you a series of goals and targets, you'd be amazing at achieving those goals and targets. So maybe if this is a high one for you, or think of jobs where you would get praise for when you achieved goals, or you would get some kind of they would talk to you and say, well done, or give you something for achieving your goals. But for you, it might just be the fact you've achieved that goal. You might not need a reward. Okay, again, if this resonates with you, write it down either way. Okay, if it doesn't bother you, don't write it down. Responsibility. So you're really keen to take responsibility for things. If you say you're going to do something, you'd be devastated if you couldn't follow through and take responsibility. So you take ownership of everything you commit to, protecting your good name. If you can't deliver, you look for ways to make it up. Your word is your bond. If responsibility resonates with you, your word is your bond. You're obsessed with doing things right, impeccable ethics, and you don't like to break those ethics. And when you promise something, you deliver. You're dependable to you. If you don't deliver, apologies are not enough. You will make it right. It is your thing. You will have to make it right. You take mental, psychological ownership of what you say that you will do, and people can be sure that you will do it. You're committed to stable values, honesty, loyalty, so you're trustworthy. You won't be able to live with yourself until you've made restitution if you've dropped the ball on or forgotten to take responsibility on something. You just won't live with yourself, which can be difficult for you at times. This conscientiousness can near obsession for doing things right. But again, what's right? But in a job where there are strong procedures or policies and right and wrong, this could be a great environment for you to be in, because when you figure out what is right in that company culture, you will live by that and you will die by that. And sometimes you take on a bit more than you should because you so want to take responsibility. So basically, a job, if responsibility resonates with you, you're looking for a job where you're given a lot of responsibility and trust. And that if what you do isn't done, then things go incredibly wrong. And it's really important for you to not drop the ball. This is a kind of job for you. It'd be quite a stressful job, but if taking responsibility and being the one that's make sure everything gets done correctly, then that kind of job is for you. So write down responsibility. If you're the other way, write down responsibility for negative. If it's not something that really resonates with you at all, then ignore it. Okay. Restorative. This is still part of the executing group, so you love to solve problems. You're energized by breakdowns. Now, this isn't necessarily just mechanical breakdowns. This could be breakdowns in people. This could be breakdowns in ideas, situations, but also tangible things. You might like taking things apart and putting them back together and making them work. So you enjoy analysing the symptoms like a doctor might or a mechanic might, finding a solution. So you like to bring the thing, person, idea or situation back to life, restoring it back to life. So you might be the kind of person that loves to restore cars or restore furniture, or upcycling, where people take old furniture and make it pretty again and then resell it. Or people that restore cars or houses, property developers. They're the kind of people that be interested maybe in restorative, because you can bring the thing, person, idea or situation back to its former glory, bring it back to life, find a problem, remove it, make it better, solve it. You may prefer practical problems, which is fine for a restorative. It's a very practical thing. You may prefer restoring practical things like tangible objects or ideas or people, not that people aren't tangible, but you know what I mean. The practical problems or conceptual or personal ones, as I said, it doesn't matter what you want to restore, as long as you have that inner urge to restore, then this should be written down on your positive wants list. You may prefer to be faced with complex and unfamiliar problems where you've got to learn something new. That'd be good for you. Or you might prefer something you've looked at before. Depends on your other themes, I think, on what other things you're interested in, whether you prefer things that you fixed before, or whether you like fixing things you haven't fixed before, or you might like both. It's a wonderful feeling to identify the factors, eradicate those factors, and restore to something to shiny new and ready to go. You fixed it, you resuscitated it, you rekindled its vitality. Now, if this resonates with you on the positive, write this down. If it's something that really is something that you hate, write it down on the negative. Or again, if this doesn't really resonate with you at all, then just ignore this one. Okay, next group. We're going on to the influencers, the people that like to change people's minds or direct the way things go, influence the situation. Okay, so activator. Now, the first in the influencing group is the activator. You're impatient for action. You don't like planning. You don't like sitting around. You're the kind of person that's like, oh, can we just get started, please? You're sick to death with sitting in planning meetings, and people like in and are in. You just want to get started. The only way we're going to get things done is to get started, okay? So you're impatient for action because, only action gets results. You must put yourself out there, take the next step, take the next action. You think the best way to learn is to start. So you prefer to learn by experience. You're not interested in planning or risk or contingency plans. You want to just get going. And if something goes wrong, you'll fix it. You'll get round it. You'll put it right. Experience is your teacher. This learning informs your next action and your next. So when things go wrong, you learn, you sort it, and then that informs your next actions. And you learn as you go. The only way to a goal is step by step, target to target. Make things happen by turning thoughts into action. You want to do things now rather than just talk about them. Analyze its uses. What I mean by that is, I've got to say that properly, analysis has its uses, but you know that only action is real. You can think about it, you can talk about it, you can plan, but nothing's going to get done until you get started. Only action leads to performance. Once a decision is made, if you cannot act, that frustrates you. Others may worry about your lack of plans, but this doesn't slow you. So people might worry that you don't plan enough and you just jump straight in. But if this one resonates with you and you're an activator and you just want to get things done, you're sick of planning, let's just do it, then write this one down. Okay, if it doesn't resonate, ignore it. Okay, command, the leader. So you like to take charge. You like to impose your views. You're quite self-assured. You're quite confident. You need to share your opinion with others. Okay, and you will share your opinion whether they like it or not. Share your goals on others. You want to align others to your thinking so that they can help you achieve your goals. Okay, a manager. Okay, you're blunt, but you can be intimidating, truthful, and you don't mind confrontation. It's not that you want to have a fight with everyone. You don't mind confrontation. You don't mind being truthful and saying it like it is, because at the end of the day, as far as you're concerned, it's the truth. It's better to tell the truth than to sugarcoat it. But of course, this can be quite intimidating to others at times. But if you're a command, you don't really care. This is your thing, Don't beat yourself up for that and what others think. You can take control of situations and make decisions. Once the goal is set, you want to align others with you and get started. You're not frightened by confrontation. You know that confrontation is the first step towards resolution at the end of the day. You feel compelled to present the facts, present the truth, and tell people your opinions. Even if it's negative, you don't care as long as it's your truth. You need to challenge others to be clear-eyed and honest as well. You don't like people that beat around the bush. You want people to be honest with you. You push others to take risks. It can be quite intimidating to people. Others often willingly hand you the reins and say, go on, you can lead. You clearly know what you're doing. You're a natural leader. You take a stance so people are drawn to you as the person to go to. So if this resonates with you, write this down on the positive or the negative, or if it doesn't, ignore it. So if you like to communicate, capture people's attention by speaking or writing stories or public speaking or teaching or anywhere, whether you're communicating with others directly and engaging them. So this is a verbal, written explanation and description. You find it easy to put your thoughts into words. Good conversationalist, good presenter, good speaker. You like to explain, you like to host, you like to speak in public, you like to write, you like to communicate, basically. If this resonates with you, you may need to write this one down. You feel a need to bring ideas and events to life, make them exciting and vivid, turn events into stories and practice telling them. So poets and storytellers definitely have this theme. You like the idea, you take an idea and you enliven it with your description and images and examples and metaphors. You want ideas to survive vividly in our minds. You want to divert others' attention towards you and then capture your audience, lock in their attention. This is what drives your hunt for the perfect phrase and the perfect word that will draw people in. This is what draws you to dramatic words and powerful word combinations. People like to listen to you. You can create word pictures, pique interest, sharpen other people's world, and inspire action in others. So if this one's good for you, write this one down. So you like to compare yourself with others if your theme is competition. So you might have a really strong theme of competition. You really fulfilled and really have this need to compare yourself to others. So think of jobs in the competitive field, sales and sports. That's just one or two of them. So you like to compare yourself to others. Others are a yardstick for you to win. You don't mind what your times are as long as you beat everyone else. Okay, so winning is better than winning, and being better than those around you is your only option. Okay, so this can be quite stressful, but this is what you want. You are a winner and you are prepared to compete to win. This fulfills you. You measure up your progress against the performance of others. You strive to win first place and revel in contests and like to show people that you can do it better. You're instinctively aware of other people's performance. Other people's performance is your yardstick, because it doesn't matter to you so much what your marks are, as long as your marks beat everyone else's marks. You can compare, you can compete, and you can win. That's what you want to do. If this is resonating with you, you need to write this one down. When you win, there's no feeling quite like it. It's just the thing for you. You like measurement because it facilitates comparisons. You like other competitors because they invigorate you. You like contests because they produce a winner. You don't like to compete for the fun of competing. You compete to win. You never compete for fun. You will come to avoid contests where winning seems unlikely. So if you're not very good at golf, you're not going to go in for a golfing contest. Okay, it's going to be something that you feel that you can win at. Otherwise, you're not interested. So jobs in sales and business and sporting activities, I would be top there, I would imagine, where you have to compete with other people in order to get ahead. So write this down if this resonates with you. Maximizer. So another one in the influencing group. So you love to see talent and excellence in other people. So this is the sort of theme that a manager or a teacher would have. Observing talent and potential in others, helping others to realise this talent. Sports coaches, music teachers, anything where you find a talent in someone and you nurture it. Turning a talent into a strength. Strengths fascinate you and you want to nurture them. You avoid those and other people that want to fix your weaknesses. To you, you don't want to be well-rounded. You think talents are the key. Plugging people's weakness is not the best way forward. You don't agree with that. So you wouldn't like learning support in schools very much. You'd want to focus on that young person's abilities and teach them that way. Focus on strengths and stimulate personal and group excellence. You seek to transform something strong into something superb. So taking a raw talent and making it superb, like Simon Cowell if you believe he does that, or whether he just sits in the management chair and doesn't do much at all. Anyway, you search talent out, watching out for the telltale signs of a strength, untutored excellence, rapid learning, a skill mastered without struggle, a talent scout, definitely. You feel compelled to nurture talent, refine it and stretch it towards excellence. So if you're a sports coach and you have Maximizer, you might train a future star. Or if you're an acting teacher and you nurture the talent of a talented actor, they might become a star because of your commitment to their talent and their potential. You polish the pearl until it shines. You choose to spend time with people who appreciate your strengths, your personal strengths, and you're attracted to others who seem to have found and nurture their own strengths. You find that fascinating. So if this resonates with you in either way, write it down. Self-assurance. So you have faith in your strengths, your abilities and your judgment. You're an influencing, you're self-assured, you're confident, you know what you're doing, you take on new challenges and you take risks. Okay, your perspective is unique and no one can make decisions for you. You're not easily swayed, and you won't be told what to do or think, not on any level. You're not easily swayed by anyone. Your opinions are your opinions, and it takes a lot because you're confident in your opinions. You don't need anyone else's opinion. You don't need to be told what to do or think. You're confident in your ability. You take risks and you manage your own life. You have your own inner compass, and that gives you certainty in your decisions. You don't need to ask anyone else's opinion, really. It's a real self-confidence and a faith in your strengths, which is a real good thing. You know that you're able to meet new challenges, state claims, deliver, come out of your comfort zone, but you alone have the authority to form your own conclusions. You know, nobody else is going to influence you. You make the decision and act when you decide. Okay, no matter what the situation, you seem to know what the right direction is. This theme lends you an order of certainty and authority, and people will really trust you as the confident one that knows what they're doing. This self-assurance might be quiet or loud, depending on your other themes, but it is solid and it is strong. So if you feel this, if you feel self-assurance, if you feel confident in your beliefs, write this one down. Or if you're completely the opposite of this and you think self-assurance is disgraceful, then write it down. If you don't have any feelings, don't write it down. Significance. So you want to be significant. You want to be recognized. So you want to do something in life. Acting, YouTuber. Actually, one of my ones isn't, well, it's not in my top 10 significance. But if significance is in your top 10, acting might be one, trying to get famous on YouTube might be another, or significant in your field, significant in your profession is something that you would go towards because you want to be known and recognized for your talents and your achievements. You want to be heard, you want to stand out, you need to be admired as credible, talented and successful. You want to mix with other people that are credible, talented and successful. You like free reign to be independent. Your job is your way of life. You want to make a big impact. You're independent. You prioritize projects based on how much influence they have on your organization and the people around you. So you're always thinking of how significant is this action? Is it important? If they aren't, you push them away and you'll push it away and not bother with it. You want the people around you to be focused, and if they aren't, you will push them to achieve until they are. An independent spirit, you want your work to be a way of life rather than a job. You want to be given free reign, lots of leeway to do things your way. I resonate with a little bit of that, really. It's not about being significant for me, but it might be for you. Your life is filled with goals and achievements and qualifications that you crave, that you want to do. Whatever your focus, you'll keep pulling yourself upward to be better, to be more significant in this world. Away from the mediocre towards the exceptional. You're always reaching to be better. Maybe one day you'll be famous. And that's fine to do, and if this resonates with you, write this down, because there are many jobs that resonate with this theme. Okay, woo, meeting new people. If your passion is to meet new people, the challenge of meeting new people, you like getting others to like you, building rapport, you like to win them over. Strangers don't faze you, they energize you. An opportunity to find out more about others when you meet people and build rapport with as many people as possible. It's not about creating a bond, you're about is it breadth, not depth. So you want to talk to lots and lots of people, but you don't want to go to a deeper level with any of these people. You just want to meet them on a level, and you're not really interested with going any creating a bond or going any deeper than that. It's on to the next, because there are too many other people to meet at the end of the day. You get satisfaction from breaking the ice and making a connection with someone. But an on the surface connection. So good if you're into sales, okay, making that on the surface connection and then maybe never seeing that person again, but building enough rapport that you make a sale with that person. And there's many different ways other than just sales, but woo would be useful. You can strike up conversations, build rapport. You never worry about running out of things to say. You're rarely at a loss. For words, you actually enjoy initiating with strangers, derive satisfaction from breaking the ice and making that connection. Once the connection is made, you're quite happy. You don't need to take it any further. You're quite happy to wrap it up and move on. You've made the sale, you've done what you need to do, you've signed off the deal, on to the next. In your world, there are no strangers, only people you haven't met yet, only friends you haven't met yet. Okay. So if this one resonates with you, write this one down. Okay, so now we're on to the relationship build-up group. Right, so adaptability. So the first in the relationship builder group is adaptability. So the future is not fixed if you're adaptable. You don't believe the future is fixed. You certainly don't believe in destiny. You certainly don't believe that everything is that is planned is definitely going to happen. And you favour and are quite talented at being adaptable and flexible in the moment. Flexible in the moment. So to you, the future isn't fixed. We create the future one choice at a time, like quantum physics tells us we do. Able to respond to the demands of the moment. You're flexible, you prefer to go with the flow, tend to be a now person. So any job where you need to take action in the moment, emergency services, police officer, yeah, you see where I'm going? Anyone that deals with emergencies, 999 call dispatchers. You prefer to go with the flow, be a now person, take things as they come. Discover the future one day at a time. So you're not much of a planner. You like to see what hits you and you feel able to deal with that when it does. You live in the moment. You don't see the future as a fixed thing. You create out of the choices that you make right now. You discover your future one choice at a time. Adaptability enables you to respond in the moment. Even if it pulls you away from your plans, you're quite happy to do it because you're just adaptable. You can go back to your plans in a bit. Unlike some, you don't resent sudden requests on your or unforeseen detours. You have no problem with that. You expect unseen detours as far as you're concerned. Nothing is fixed, nothing is definite. So there's always going to be things that are going to get in the way of your day or change your plans. Nothing is fixed, right? So you look forward to unseen detours. You can stay productive even when the demands of work are pulling you in many different directions because you just have that ability to do that. So teaching, again, you need to be adaptable with teaching. Something could happen and you need to change all your plans and do something different. So adaptability is a great skill to have. So if this resonates with you, write it down. So developer. So you're drawn towards interacting and helping others. You see the potential in others. So if you're a developer, you like to see where someone is a work in progress or things that they could improve on and help them to improve and develop as a person. You want to see others' experiences and success, and you will devise experiences to assist growth, learning and talent. So you're sort of person that maybe like to arrange outings for old people or young people or any people, work people, the group. You might like to arrange experiences for people within your group so that they learn and grow and achieve and develop their talent. So a teacher might arrange an outing for a group of kids to learn about all the animals of the world. That kind of thing is what a developer does. You recognise and develop potential in others. You spot each small improvement and derive satisfaction from progress. Your goal is to help others achieve success, to take a weakness and maybe strengthen it and develop it into something you can use. You see, where am I? You devise interesting experiences. You can stretch others to help them grow. These small, tiny increments or additions to someone's ability are great for you because it's clear signs that someone's getting better and that they're developing. Signs of growth in others brings you strength and satisfaction. Over time, many will seek you out for help for development. Others know that your helpfulness is both genuine and fulfilling. So if this resonates with you, write this one down because this one's going to be important for you in your career. Connectedness. So if you resonate with connectedness, you feel that things happen for a reason. Your life and your job should have a purpose. We're all connected, you feel. Collective unconscious. So if you hurt someone, you're only hurting yourself. So we should treat each other well. Remember, we're all connected. If you throw something or hurt the left, it's going to hurt everyone. If you hurt him, it hurts me. Okay? We're all connected. So you mustn't hurt or exploit others, as that hurts ourselves, as I've said. Be considerate and caring and accepting to others. Have faith in the links and the connections among all things. Believe that there are few coincidences. So you'll be quite a spiritual person. You think that every event has meaning. You're sure of it because in your soul you know that we're all connected. We are individuals responsible for our own judgment, our own free will, because we're part of something larger, and the personal decisions we make every day affect the whole in like a ripple. That's what you believe. God, I should have brought a drink in with me for all this talking. You're not isolated. People aren't isolated from each other in your view. They're all connected. We're all connected. Everything in life on it is connected. Which of course implies certain responsibilities. So treating other people well is good because we're all connected. If you put poison in, poison will spread to everyone. If you put good things in, goodness will spread to everyone. You're a bridge builder for people of different cultures. You can give others comfort, that there is purpose beyond your humdrum life. Your faith is strong, it sustains you, and you have close friends. So you might like to be a spiritual teacher or a preacher or definitely a job that you feel gives you purpose. Excuse me, everyone. I should have brought in a drink. Just going to pause. Oh, sorry, I had to pause the recording there because as you would have heard, the dry air in this room because of the computers, and it's a newly built room. Oh, it scratches the back of my throat. Excuse me. Anyway, you sense, so empathy. If you're strong and you resonate with empathy, this is a really important skill as well in the working world. You sense the emotions of others and you feel them too. Counsellor, psychologist, kind of person that helps other people. You understand other people's perspectives. You may not agree with others' perspectives, but you understand and you don't judge that person for their perspective. Your ability to understand others draws people to you. Your instinctive ability to understand is very powerful. You hear what is unsaid and you help others express their feelings. You can sense other people's feelings by imagining yourself in other people's lives. So you can almost step into other people's shoes. You're intuitive and you're intuitively able to see the world through another person's eyes, which can be really useful in a lot of jobs. You hear the unvoiced questions or anticipate the need. You find the right words at the right tone. You seem to help people find the right phrases to express their feelings. You help them, you give them a voice to their emotional life. So if empathy is something that you're strong at and really resonates with you, then working with people is definitely for you. Young people, old people, any people really, in a counselling or helping kind of way. Write this one down. Oh dear, now I can't move my... Let's go back to there. And then it might be, yes. So harmony, you look for agreement. You feel that conflict solves nothing. So you're not the kind of person that thinks that conflict brings things forward. You think it solves nothing and you hate conflict. So if this resonates with you, keep listening. You prefer to find common ground between those with differing views to achieve harmony. Time is wasted by people imposing their views on others. You keep your opinions in check, you know. You're not interested in bringing your opinions forward and starting debates or arguments, you know. You think your opinion should be kept to yourself. Because, you know, if you keep your opinions to yourself, then no one can argue with you. If that resonates with you, keep listening. You modify your own objectives so you don't rock the boat. Look for consensus. You don't enjoy conflict. You seek areas of agreement. Little to be gained from conflict or friction, in your opinion. When people hold differing views, you try and find compromise. So think the legal system, maybe family law would be a great sort of job for you if harmony really resonates with you. You like to find compromise, steer others away from confrontation towards a harmonious result, basically. In fact, harmony is one of your guiding values. We could all be more productive if we kept our opinions in check and just got on with it. When others push their goals and opinions, you just hold your peace. You don't say anything. You talk about practical matters where you can all agree. In your view, we're all in the same boat. So maybe jobs where you bring people together and you bring peace to the conflict, but you might not like that initial conflict. So anywhere, any sort of environment or job where calming people down and stopping them from conflicting with each other is good. Maybe relationship counsellor. There are many ways that harmony can be used in the working world. So write that one down if this resonates with you. Includer. So includer, you want to make people part of the group. You hate exclusive groups. You hate pushing people out. Maximum support can be achieved to all by expanding the group, warmly bringing in outsiders, being non-judgmental, accepting of others. You believe we're fundamentally the same and equally important. You know, so no one should be treated any more important than others, you know, like consistency. You believe we're fundamentally the same and equally important. You show awareness of those who feel left out and you try and include them. So you are definitely the person that would notice the person who's sad. You'd notice the person sitting on their own and be the one to put your arm around them and include them in the group. You want to make people feel part of the group. You actively avoid those groups that exclude other people. You want to expand the group so that as many people as possible can benefit. You hate the sight of someone who's on the outside looking in, and you just want to draw them in. You want everyone to feel the warmth of the group, no matter what your sex or your gender or nationality, personality. You want to draw everyone in. You don't think anyone should be pushed out. We should all expect this. You believe that we should all expect to be treated equally and have our differences respected. You know, that's something that's really important to you. We're all equally important and no one should be ignored. Each of us should be included. It's the least we all deserve. Now, if this resonates with you really a lot and you want to be the person that brings everyone together, write this one down. Individualisation. You're intrigued by the unique qualities of each person. You're impatient with generalizations and types. So the kind of types that I talk about, you'd probably be a little bit, but you know, types aren't here to put you in a box. They're here to help you to learn more about you. You don't have to rely on, you know, put everything on it, but it's to give you a different flavour of you, to bring all together so that you can do the best job for you. It's not about typing you or labelling you. But if you're into individualisation, you don't believe in types. You believe everyone is individual and there are no patterns. that unite people. You think everyone is completely unique and different, and there are no similarities that pull people into types. Generalizations and types obscure people in your view. Instead, you focus on the differences between individuals and their individual differences. You observe each person's style, motivation, how each person thinks. You observe how each person builds relationships, their unique quirks, and where they're different, or where it's something you've never seen before. You observe others' strengths and use them to build effective teams. So you like to find someone's strengths. It's like Maximizer, really, very, very similar to Maximizer. You hear one-of-a-kind stories in each person's life. You pick friends, the right birthday gift, because you just know who they are to a T. You know people's preferences. You're a keen observer of the strengths of others. You draw out the best in each person and you build the best teams, because you know how to draw out people's individual strengths and put them to work. If this one resonates with you, write this one down. Okay, positivity. You're generous with praise. You like to smile. You're light-hearted, always looking for the positive in situations. Your enthusiasm is contagious. You inject drama into situations. You lighten the mood. You celebrate every achievement. You make things more exciting and fun with your sense of humour. You're upbeat. You get people excited. Others wish their glass was as full as yours. Either way, people want to be around you because of your positivity. You always lighten the environment, lighten the spirit. You find ways to make everything more positive and exciting and more vital. Some cynics may reject your energy, especially the miserable ones, but you're rarely dragged down. You don't care about the misogs, it's fine. You carry on being miserable. You go for your life. You can't escape your conviction that it's good to be alive. You're just positive, and that's a good thing, and that's good for so many jobs and so many things in life. You can work. It's good to be alive. Things that work and that are fun, you're really drawn to. No matter what the setbacks, you never lose your sense of humour. No one's ever down and out as far as you're concerned. Positivity, even if things go wrong, there's always a way. If this one resonates with you, write it down. Relator. So instead of woo, you're drawn towards deep. Instead of breadth of relationships, you're looking to deepen your relationships. So the relator looks to deepen the relationships they already have, rather than meeting loads of new people. So if you're drawn more towards people you already know, close friends, you're comfortable with going deeper with intimacy, encouraging and deepening your relationships, understanding your friends' feelings, their goals, their fears, their dreams. You want your friends to understand your feelings, goals and dreams too. You enjoy close relationships with others. You want people to know you and you want to know them. You find deep satisfaction in working hard with friends to achieve a goal. So you're a team player, 100%. You derive pleasure and strength from being around close friends. You know that this kind of closeness implies a certain amount of risk, because, if you get close to someone, you are risking your heart, really. You might be taken advantage of, you may not. But you are willing to accept that risk, because a relationship only has value if it's genuine, and, your life only has value if there's relationships within it. So you have no choice but to take that risk. The more you share with each other, the more you risk together. The more you risk together, the more it proves that you are genuine and caring for each other. These are your steps towards real friendship, and you take them willingly. So you're looking to deepen relationships with others. Very useful in all elements of the working world, especially if you're trying to keep customers on and build relationships for more sales, keeping customers. And that's just in business. It can be used across the board to create opportunities for you and as part of jobs that you might prefer to do. Right, last one, strategic thinker. So you might be more pushed towards the analytical. You may prefer to objectively and dispassionately ask questions and question others' theories and ideas, but objectively. Search for patterns and connections in data to prove or disprove a theory. Search for reasons and causes. Consider all the factors that might affect a situation. Analyze it, prove it. If you think that's true, then show me the data, show me the information. Show me why you're claiming this to be true. You insist that their theories are sound, and you like to analyse other people's theories and see whether they're sound or not. You see yourself as objective and quite dispassionate. You like data because data is value-free. Data has no agenda. Armed with this data, you search for patterns and connections that have no agenda to you. You want to understand how certain patterns affect one another, how certain elements affect one another. Does the outcome fit with the theory? Does this theory work in the real world? Will it work? Can it work? Is it feasible? You peel back the layers until you gradually find the root cause or causes of things. Others see you as logical and rigorous, so the detective. Analysing the data, the information, and finding connections that you may not have seen before. Very much the detective or the analytical, looking at data, information. And engineers need a high amount of analytical skills. So if analytical resonates with you, then write analytical down. Context. So when making decision, you look back at the blueprints of the past. So you're the kind of person that it's not about what's new. You like to do what's tried and tested, what's already been done. You like to look back into the past, what's worked in the past, and then I'm going to use that today. So law again. Law very much looks into the precedents, what's happened before, so that they are consistent in their cases and outcomes going forward. So if you're really into context, then maybe the legal system is something for you to consider. But anyway, listen on. So when making decisions, you look back at the blueprints of the past. Looking back helps you understand the present to get the answers you need. New situations with no past precedents or blueprints are difficult because you don't know if they work. There's no proof that they've worked in the past, or there's no precedents to say that it'll work. You enjoy thinking about the past, so you probably loved history and all the archaeology, all that kind of thing. You understand the present by researching its history. So as far as you're concerned, the present is only the way it is because of what has happened before. You look back to understand the present. You look back because this is where the answers lie. Casting your mind back to an earlier time brings stability to the present, in your opinion. As you look back, you begin to see the blueprints emerge. You make better decisions when you sense the underlying structure. You understand how your colleagues came to be who they are from looking at their history. So you're the kind of person that likes to know about a person's childhood and where they grew up, so that you can try and understand them how they are now. So a counsellor might have context, if they want to find out more about a person. Wouldn't necessarily always be useful, because looking at the past isn't always the best way. But it is sometimes, and in some jobs, looking into the past is vital. So faced with new people and situations, take you a little bit more time to orientate yourself. So you want a job that really looks into the past for answers, as I've said already, law or archiver, or looking back into a person's life, or looking at an item and thinking about its past and its history. That might be enough for you. Furniture restorers might have context. They might like to restore something from its tattered place that it is now back to the beauteous state that it was when it was like new, back in the 40s or whenever it came from. So context can be applied to many different things. So if this one resonates with you, write this down. Futuristic. You're energized by looking into the future. You're a dreamer. The future fascinates with you. So like engineers that build future machines, or future, anything that will help bring us forward in the future, you might be interested in. You see visions of the future. You see the detail of what the future may hold. You inspire others to a better future. So it might be situational. It might not be building things for the future. It might be building new ideas or better policies for the future. You're the kind of person that loves to look ahead, plan ahead. The future fascinates you. at the end of the day. You see in the detail what the future might hold. So you might look at what's happening and think, God, if this carries on, the future's going to be blah. And you easily see the future by analysing what's happening now. You're a dreamer, you see visions of what could be. So in the Myers-Briggs, you're definitely an intuitive, an N. People look you out to describe your visions of the future. So people want to hear your visions of the future. Raising your sights and therefore your spirit. So looking into the future does make you feel good. You make the picture vivid. People want to latch on to the hope that you bring. So if you're very futuristic and you like to look to the future, you've got to think, what areas do you like futuristic in? Is it in filmmaking? Is it in building machines? Is it in building new ideas? Is it spreading new ideas? What is it about the future that fascinates you? And that is what will link to the job that you want. So if this one resonates with you, write it down. Ideation. You might be fascinated by ideas and concept. Love to find a concept or underlying pattern to explain the world. A concept connecting disparate ideas that are profound and novel. You like to see a load of new ideas and then seeing the link between all those ideas and thinking, oh my goodness, look how all those ideas link to a new theory. Okay, scientists would be great. People in business looking for new ideas and new innovation would be great. Concept connecting disparate ideas. You love to discover. A simple concept to explain why things are the way they are is really fascinating to you. Yours is the kind of mind that is always looking for connections between data and ideas. You're intrigued when disparate phenomena can be linked into a pattern. An idea is a new perspective on familiar challenges. You like to take the world we know, turn it around and view it from a different angle. You know, what would happen if we put that over there and that over there? How would it change? How would it look different? Wow, that's a new idea. You love all those ideas because they're profound, they're novel and sometimes bizarre. You derive a jolt of energy whenever a new idea occurs to you. Others may label you creative, original or conceptual. What are you sure of? The only thing you're sure of are the ideas are thrilling. Now, if this resonates with you, write this one down. Input. So you're inquisitive. You collect ideas, facts, books, tangible things, whatever you feel that would become useful in the future. I'm a bit of an input. You know, I collect books and my family takes the mick out of me because I've just got bookcases everywhere. You need to collect an archive. You accumulate information, ideas, artifacts. You might collect tin cans. I know someone that collects old beer cans and beer mats. You know, it doesn't matter what you collect. You like to collect things. You hate to throw things away, especially interesting things. You have many interests. You love the variety and complexity of life. You want to explore, learn, gain artifacts to store. So archaeologists would love, you know, if you're on the input theme and this resonates with you, maybe archaeology is the way to go for you. Yours is the kind of mind that finds so many things interesting. The world is an exciting place to you because of its infinite variety and complexity. You like to travel. This is because each location offers novel artifacts. This is definitely the archaeologist's kind of talent, or someone that likes to collect things that are interesting or analyse things. This can be acquired and then stored away in case you need them. That's why I keep my books, because, you know, you never know. I've kept books for years and then one day I've needed them. So in my opinion, one day you might need them. You know, you never know. It's hard to say exactly when or why you might need them, but you keep them because you think, you know, one day I'm going to need that, so I'm going to keep that. You really feel comfortable. You really don't feel comfortable throwing things away. You think, you know, one day I'm going to need that. This is just not good. But, you know, sometimes you have to force yourself. Otherwise you end up being a hoarder. So you've got to take care of that. So you keep acquiring and compiling and filing stuff away and keeping it. But remember, even this skill, I have this in my top 5. And it's linked to jobs that this skill would be really useful in. So if this resonates with you, write this one down. Intellection. So you like to think and exercise your brain. You're quite quiet. You like to sit and muse and think and find better ways. You need time alone for musing and reflection. If your thinking is focused, you can solve problems or develop an idea. You're characterized by your intellectual activity, you're introspective and appreciate intellectual discussions. So you're the strategist, you're the thinker. You like to think, you like mental activity, you like exercising your brain, you enjoy your time alone. So you wouldn't be looking for jobs around people because it's your time for musing and reflection. You pose yourself questions and try out the answers on yourself. Think about pragmatic matters, the events of the day, or a conversation you plan to have later, whatever that may be. Wherever it leads you, this mental humdrum is one of the constants in your life. So you might want a kind of job where you're very strategic, where you get to sit in an office and think and strategize and come up with answers. Maybe a CEO or a manager or an entrepreneur, anyone that needs to think and get things done would be good with intellection. So if this one resonates, write this one down. Or you may be a learner. You may just love to learn. You're drawn to the process of learning, energized by the journey from ignorance to competence. The growing confidence of a skill mastered entices and excites you. You like short projects where you can learn lots of new things. So you have a great desire to learn and continuously improve all the time. So you wouldn't want a job where you learn and then you just do that all the time. You want a job where you're always learning new things. So whatever you do, you might learn something new, where it's out on the field, whether you're a journalist or a researcher. You want to always be learning something new, travel journalist. You certainly don't want to be a job where you learn and you train and then you just apply what you've learned. You want to carry on learning. You don't, once you stop learning in your job, you'll be looking for a way out. So if you're very much a learner and this list, resonates with you that I'm about to read, then make sure you don't take a job where there's no further learning once you start. So you love the process of learning rather than the outcome. It's not so much what you've learned, it's the process of learning that you love. The process is more than the result. The thrill of the first new facts and early practice entices you. So learning that new thing really resonates with you. You think, wow, new fact, that's cool. You thrive in dynamic work environments where you're always learning new things, always doing new things. You like to learn a lot in a short period of time and then move on. So you don't want to stay in one thing all the time and just do the same thing. Remember, you're a learner. You don't like to be doing the same thing. This doesn't necessarily mean you seek to become an expert. It just means that you want to do different things all the time. And the learning is less significant than the getting there. You just want to be doing the learning and experiencing and always learning something new. Strategic. So you're able to sort through the details and find the best route. This is like a ranger, really. The arranger theme have the similar ability to sort through the details, but you're able to sort through the details and find the best route. See patterns where others just see detail and complexity. Play out alternative patterns to see and evaluate potential obstacles. You can sort through all the plan, all the options and choose the correct route, the correct strategy to take. You create alternate ways to proceed. You can change direction, quickly spot patterns and issues, play out alternative scenarios. What if we did this? What if this happened? Definitely a strategic leader. Recurring question helps you to see around the next corner. You can evaluate the potential obstacles guided by where each path is leading. So very strategic, using one piece of evidence to guide your next theory. Discard the paths that lead nowhere or straight into resistance. You want the best path and the easiest path really for you, your company or your job. You discard the paths that lead into confusion. Armed with your strategy, you strike forward. You say, what if? You select the right way and then you strike. So you're the strategic manager. You're the person that makes decisions within your company. So maybe having your own company, if this really resonates with you, is important because you like to come up with your own strategy, or seeking management or leadership positions in companies or multinational companies in whatever subject interests you, but as long as you're being strategic. So if this resonates with you, write this one down. Right, so that is all 34 strengths, and it's taken me an hour and a quarter to get there. However, it's really important that you take the skills or the strengths that really resonated with you and keep a note of them and think about them, as well as the ones that, or any, if any, that resonated really negatively with you. For example, if one with routine really was negative with you, you must make sure you don't get a job that's full of routine. Okay, this is all teaching you who you are. So if you found this video useful today and you've liked my video, please press the thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, because I'm new to YouTube with my careers advice, and just want to help people really. So subscribe to my channel, click the bell icon so you're kept up to date with all my other stuff that I'm going to be uploading and all my other ideas. You can email me at katie@careertalents.co.uk, or you can go to my website at katie@careertalents.co.uk. I'm going to put my links to my social media in the description box so that you can link to me on social media. Remember, guys, when you're choosing a job, it's all about what you want, what resonates with you, not what other people tell you you should do. So the purpose of my video today was for you to pick out all the strengths that have been identified by Gallup Strengths Finder in America, and use them as a way to choose the best job for you in a careers advice setting. But if you have any questions, please, I'm excited to hear questions from you guys. So just always follow your intuition, always follow your gut and your heart, and that's the best way that you'll find the best job for you. See you soon, guys.